So in theory, sure. But I think the problem that we're dealing with right now is time frame. And that has to be addressed. So we are now living in the decisive decade. We can negotiate pathways all we want, and policies and regulations, but the atmosphere doesn't negotiate. And we now have reports that Canada has signed off on that are peer-reviewed by 6,000 scientists from around the world, 150 countries have signed off on, showing us that we have about 10 years to turn this around. So the IPCC report said that every country, every industry needs to reduce emissions now, that we need to focus on reduction. In conversation with many of those scientists, they've said to me, it is inconsistent to build more now, that we need to focus on reduction now, that that's the time frame that we're dealing with. So yeah, if every country around the world agreed on that price of carbon, could that theoretically work? Maybe. But we haven't seen that in any other problem in human history. What we've seen is that we need courage and we need leadership. That's what it took to ban CFCs and heal the hole in the ozone layer. It took Canada stepping up to leadership and creating the Montreal Protocol. It took demand-side measures on CFCs. It also took regulating supply. And there are very few historical problems that we can look at that the markets have solved it. So the problem I have with the we'll just price it, we'll let the markets decide, the companies are working on carbon capture and sequestration, is that that's not good enough at this moment in history. It's not working. We've had 30 years to try and address this, and it's not working. So that means that we actually have to move quicker. It means that we actually have to regulate. We have to be willing to step out ahead.